Welcome to this edition of our program, Arab Affairs. As usual, we will be discussing an important topic. Today we'll be focusing on the Egyptian-Saudi relations, Egyptian-Gulf relations at large, in light of the visit of Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry to Riyadh. And he is attending to the fifth session of the Ministerial Committee or bilateral Ministerial Committee, follow-up and consultation and political Egyptian-Saudi Ministerial Committee. Both have called for the regional peace and stability, and discussed a number of issues, a number of regional and international issues, and definitely a means of boosting mutual cooperation and coordination regarding many challenges facing the region. We'll be focusing on that in our episode today. Before we delve into our discussion, first let's have a quick look on the Arab news that took place during this week, and we'll come back for more discussion.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli met with the Iraqi ambassador to Egypt, Ahmed Naif al-Delimi. The premier asserted Egypt's support to all efforts to achieve development and stability in Iraq. Madbouli stressed the significance of exerting more effort over the upcoming period to put into effect agreements and memoranda of understanding signed earlier between Iraq and Egypt. He added that the efforts are also aimed at speeding up joint cooperation regarding building and reconstruction of Iraq, with the participation of the Egyptian companies. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said a Moscow-brokered rapprochement with Turkey should aim for the end of occupation by Turkey of parts of Syria. During his meeting with Moscow's envoy for Syria, Alexander Lavrentiev, al-Assad stressed that talks should be founded on coordination and advanced planning between Syria and Russia in order to be productive, with the aim of ending the occupation and support for terrorism. Turkish Foreign Minister said during a visit to Rwanda that the defense ministers' meeting would be followed by talks between the three countries' top diplomats. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, is holding an emergency meeting in Saudi city of Jeddah to discuss the Israeli aggression on the Holy Aqsa Mosque. The two-day meeting comes amid the continuing Israeli escalation of violence in the occupied eastern Jerusalem and violations against Al-Aqsa Mosque. The most prominent violation was that of Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who had stormed the Aqsa Mosque compound on Tuesday under the protection of Israeli occupation troops in the light of the occupation's attempts to change legal and historical status of Al-Aqsa Mosque. Palestinian health officials said that the Israeli occupation troops shot and killed 3 Palestinians during raids in the occupied West Bank on Thursday, the latest bloodshed in months of rising violence between Israelis and Palestinians. The Israeli occupation forces, which had been carrying out near 90 raids in the territory since early last year, claimed that soldiers who entered the Qalandiya refugee camp before dawn were bombarded by rocks and cement blocks. The Israeli army also raided the northern occupied West Bank, entering the village of Qabatia, south of the flashpoint city of Jenin, and surrounding a house in the town. The death brings the total number of Palestinians killed in the West Bank this year to 9, including 2 Palestinians killed Wednesday in separate incidents in the West Bank. Lebanon's caretaker justice minister said on Wednesday that European investigators will arrive in Lebanon on January 16th as part of a cross-border probe into alleged fraud by the Mediterranean country's central bank governor Riyad Salama. French, German and Luxembourg judicial officials will seek to integrate people in relation to suspected financial crimes. Swiss authorities in 2021 were the first to launch a corruption probe into Salama, who has served as Lebanon's central bank governor for the last 3 decades. They suspect Salama, together with his brother Raja, may have illegally taken more than $300 million from the Lebanese central bank between 2002 and 2015 and loaned more of it in Switzerland. Salama, 72, has denied any wrongdoing and says that probes are part of a coordinated campaign to make him a scapegoat for Lebanon's 2019 financial collapse. His brother has also denied any wrongdoing. The United Arab Emirates said on Thursday the head of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company would lead this year's COP28 climate summit. According to his office, Sultan Al Jaber, also UAE's Minister of Industry and Technology and its climate envoy, will help shape the conference agenda and intergovernmental negotiations to build consensus. The UAE will be the second Arab state to host the climate conference after Egypt in 2022. The country has committed to reach net zero emissions by 2050.
Welcome back, and those were the Arab news that took place during this week, and we go to our main topic of today, which is the Egyptian-Saudi relations, Saudi Arabia relations, and this is in particular at the large side. We'll be speaking about the Egyptian Gulf relations in light of this important meeting that took place in Riyadh, where Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry yesterday, or for 2 days, has held a number of meetings, particularly a close one with the Saudi, or with his Saudi counterpart, during which they discussed a number of mutual issues or issues of common interests, regional and international issues, and a means of boosting bilateral relations and cooperation on the challenges that are facing the region. The two sides have already agreed that peace and security in the region is the most important issue, as well as both welcomed the outcome of some of the discussions and the outcome of some of the dialogues that went on, particularly in Sudan and Libya. A number of issues were discussed in this meeting. Before we go on with our discussion, let's first have a quick look on this report, and we'll come back.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and his Saudi counterpart Prince Faisal bin Farhan bin Abdullah chaired the meeting of the Joint Follow-up and Political Consultation Committee in Riyadh. Both parties shared common views on several issues and regional and international crises, underscoring the depth of the strategic relations that bind their countries and their determination to achieve stability in the region. They stressed the need to intensify cooperation in political areas and discuss ways to bolster coordination in fields of concern. A joint statement following the committee meeting stressed that Arab security was indivisible, urging the need for collective Arab work and solidarity to preserve Arab national security. The statement added that this is the responsibility for each Arab country, saying that Egypt and Saudi Arabia play leading roles in achieving political and economic stability in the region to reach sustainable development in all countries in the area. They agreed on the importance of maintaining coordination to support the countries of the region and the security and stability of their people. Egypt and Saudi Arabia underlined their rejection to attempts by regional parties to meddle in the internal affairs of Arab countries. They expressed the rejection of threats to their stability and undermining of the interest of their people, whether through ethnic or sectarian incitement. They agreed to continue to fight against terrorism groups in the region. They stressed the centrality of the Palestinian cause, saying it was the top priority in the Arab world. Egypt and Saudi Arabia said a comprehensive solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict lies in the establishment of an independent Palestinian state according to 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. The solution must be based on the 2002 Arab Peace Initiative and relevant international resolutions. Egypt and Saudi Arabia welcomed the signing of the framework agreement in Sudan, hoping it would pave the way for meeting the ambitions of Sudanese people. They stressed the importance of supporting political and security stability in Sudan. The committee statement added that Sudan's security and stability is invisible to that of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Concerning Yemen, both parties expressed full support to United Nations and international efforts aimed at extending the nationwide truce in Yemen to eventually reach a comprehensive political solution according to the Gulf Initiative, National Dialogue Outcomes, the UN Security Council Resolution 2216. Meanwhile, Egypt and Saudi Arabia underscored their support for a UN-sponsored Libyan solution to the North African nation crisis. They urged an end to foreign interference in Libyan affairs and rejected foreign dictates on Libyans.